So here is the Phoenix, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We have a little surface rust toward the front of the roof there. That's the only rust present on the roof. The paint is fading a bit. I've cleaned it down with bleach so it's not mildew or anything. There is no dents or waves in the roof all the way down. And we'll get to the drip rails in a little bit. Go up to the front. We've got the surface rust on the front. Windshield's good. From what I can tell, the windshield channel and frame is good. We've got a little surface rust along the bottom edge of the front clip, all the way down. No holes, no scale. Same throughout the entire underside of the van. The sway bar is intact. The belly pan is intact as well. Has the 1-year 67 Deluxe side view mirror. The passenger side is not drilled for it. We got really good handles that if I had any brains I would have taken off and stick on the 68, but I just can't do it. The van's just too nice. Sport van and deluxe emblems that came with this van are in really good shape on this side. The pop-out window frames are really good. All the way around on all 4 of them. The damage to this side from the forklift, you can see here is a fold toward the front, some surface rust, and a fold toward the back here, which is this one's probably the most severe of the of all 4. And there's the cat. The filler neck's back in and working fine. I just came back from the gas station with it. The rear bumper is flared out a little bit toward the center from where they had a tow hitch on here. It bent the rear bumper up, so that would need addressing or replacing. Poor script is broken. Someone put these hooks in here and I haven't taken them off, so I don't have holes in the body to let moisture in. Rear handle, very nice, nicer than mine. Nice and solid, not sagging. And this was a little bit of a surprise today. Still have the original mat, which is rolled up over here. The original mat that's fitted to the van, along with the bench seat that wasn't mounted. It was just laying in the van when it got here. But underneath that mat, we have some rust on the floor. Under the rear half of the van has it. It's a little scaly in places. It's not come through anywhere. But it's a bit more than I was expecting. The mount is still here. The build sheet is still here. A few things have been put in. It was missing little pieces here and there, and I've been able to locate some and put a lot of the little things that were missing back in the van. It still has the cover that wraps around the back of the doghouse. It's a little beaten up, but it's still there. First one I've seen. Door panels are in fairly good shape. All the plastics are in place. None of them are broken. Obviously all the trim's in place. On the passenger side, we've got 2 dents from the forklift right here in the body, and it's not as severe along the bottom edge. It looks like we might have gotten a little bit of pressure on this step, because the step has a little resistance when you open the door. And the dent here, which seems to carry it a little bit onto the battery tray too. Really not terrible, but still made me unhappy. So a little surface rust along the bottom as well. Nothing scaling or flaking or bubbling up. It is the 3/4 ton Sport Van Deluxe 108, 508 of them made. The other really nice handle. All the handles on here are really nice, and they're all really straight. None of them are sagging. Once again, the pop-out frames are in really good shape. Nicest ones I've put my hands on. Really, I think some 600 wet or dry and some paint, and those things look like brand new. Got everything back together on the inside. All the door panels are complete. Appears that someone put a passenger side mirror here. Since it wasn't drilled, and I checked from the inside, there's no plate on the back of here where a mirror that matched the driver's side would have been. Actually up here, there's nothing on the inside here, so it looks like it didn't have a passenger side mirror. So we're good all through here. The delete plate's back in, the ashtray in the gauges, everything but the wiper switch that I haven't put my hands on yet. Seats obviously are in great shape. The roof is in great shape from front to back. A little saggy up here in the front, but other than that it's good. I haven't been able to get a couple of lenses yet, but that's just out of laziness. The lights work. I have the air cleaner, but I'm missing the screw that comes up through here, so I'm not able to mount it just yet. Let's see, where there's the rest of the ugly stuff. The drip rail has no rust all the way through. I don't know how well you can see this, but all the way through and all the way around, this thing is good. No rust at all. All the way around, all the way around, all the way around. All the way around, all the way down. Nothing happening here. All the seam seal are still in place. And other than surface rust, there's nothing going on with the roof at all. Solid all the way through. I believe until recently this van was probably kept inside. There's no way it would have looked like that living here. So, with regard to the underside of the van, I did put a rear transmission seal in, but it still leaks. That's probably just poor mechanicsmanship. The rear end's leaving a spot, but it never seems to have a drip on it, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Probably just a seal. I do need to adjust the rear brakes because they pull a little bit unevenly. It's got the 3-speed. I believe it has a 411 gear in the rear according to the build sheet, unless at some point in the last 40 plus years it's been changed out. And I gotta say, as far as steering, this thing doesn't steer like I thought a van would. This thing steers like a new car. Steers and rides really nice. And let's see about firing it up here. Hasn't started today, so, well, actually it's not in a few hours, so. So, let's take it around the neighborhood. Got the fuel sender in. That new fuel sender that we got from Napa works really well with the van. There's the infamous speed warning indicator. I love this horn button. That's my favorite. So, here we go. Well, as soon as this truck passes. Oh, power steering. Put a little power in my steering. Alright. And we're off. The insulation's still in the doghouse too, so you can't even hear this thing running when you're on the road. I think it's got a 411 in it. This thing doesn't have much of a first gear to it. I think I got it running too rich. Wanting to stumble a little bit under a load. So that's that. I think I'm probably making the video way too long now by driving around. Right back to the house. Third gear. I am better at driving than this video would tend to show. I need to replace the dimmer switch. The dimmer switch went out, so my headlights aren't operating properly at the moment. But did figure out the problem that was happening with much of the wiring with the van and the steering column. Put a new wiring harness up here with the indicators, which solved a lot of problems. Not the least of which being a major short in all the lights of the van. The speed warning indicator has another dial that sits in the speedometer, a white needle. I'd imagine you skipped over most of this part of the video by now. A couple more things to show you before we wrap up. Okay. So we've got all our indicators working again. Working nice. Brake lights working too. I haven't dug up underneath this this mat in the front. It looks like there's probably a little surface rust under here too, or maybe rust like we have in the back. As far as a little bit of scale. I haven't pulled this mat up yet, so I'm gonna have to unscrew it. But Hinges all hang good, nothing sagging. Doors open and close real easy. If there are any other questions you have that I haven't covered here, just let me know, and I'll either make an additional video or just answer them for you. But the van, when Mark did a compression test, had very good compression through all 6 cylinders. However, I'm getting a little smoke coming out of the exhaust and around the exhaust manifold, so I would imagine that the valve seats are passing some oil. So that's that. Let me know if you have any other questions.